I think that the biggest thing I talk to everybody about is focus on your niche. Like focus, pick your lane and run. And now my depth of knowledge in this space at my age is sort of ridiculous.
Welcome to the Maverick Entrepreneur podcast, where business success meets personal purpose. Here we empower entrepreneurs to strike that perfect balance between massive growth and unwavering values. Dive deep into strategies, inspirations, and stories that ensure you set your foundation in faith and don't compromise your family on your ascent to the top. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Maverick Entrepreneur. With me, finally, this guy, I had to lock him down. This is Blake Comfort, my good friend, and I wanted to bring him on today because let's just say that I resonate with high achievers that still believe in family, that still believe in fun, that still have the same core values that I have. And just so you know, I don't bring people on here because they pay me. I don't bring people on here because I think it'll help me get likes and follows. I bring people on here that I resonate with, that we're going to have a conversation that you get to be a part of. So it doesn't matter if you're starting in business or you are crushing it in business. This episode is about the journey. This episode is this guy's got the fruit to back it up, who leaves a family legacy, living in a family legacy, but about to level up his legacy. And, you know, whether it's at my church right now or in my personal life, the most important thing, I think, since I hit 50 is knowing that legacy is the most important thing. And so if I can't help you level up your life, then I, one, suck, and two, go follow someone else. But isn't hype. I don't rent a big house. I don't rent cars to do podcasts. I'm living my dream, and I want you to believe that you can live yours. So that's what today's episode is about. So I just want to touch that off. Welcome. Thank you for being here, Blake.
Preach it. Love it. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here, brother.
Well, I figured I was on your podcast, which his podcast. Tell us your podcast.
So we do the Cash Flow Quest, and it's on kind of an entrepreneur's journey to get to the end, and you're at passive income where you can kind of still run and still grow your business, but at the same time, you need to live on some cash flow. Yeah. You know, so.
I love it. I don't even think when I came on your podcast, we talked about business.
We hammered your whole story and had a lot of fun, you know, and then it's like, you know, if you and I aren't careful, we can go, you know, an hour to two like that, and you cover a lot of ground, and so do I. So it's fun.
I know, but when I left there, my wife's like, what'd you talk about? And I was like, I don't even think we talked about anything about wealth or making money. I think we just had a good time.
We covered your story though.
We did?
We covered the whole story.
And you never sent me the link to that podcast.
Oh, it's out.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send you a link to this podcast.
Yeah.
Immediately.
All right. Let's do it.
You know, but I love it. So I want to give a little bit of background because there's some passionate things. Tell me your top 4 passions.
So I love adventuring.
Yes.
In all aspects. It's what fires me up to, like, you know, that thing that's at the end of the quarter, end of the year, and you got a trip coming up, just running around. But then taking now my kids into that world, like, you know, we got them little electric quads, and my 2-year-old's ripping around in the dirt like that now.
I saw that, by the way.
It fires me up more than like looking back on when I was riding and growing up. Like, so getting the kids out into the adventure mode. And then now it's building a team and like just straight conquering the mobile home park industry. I love it.
Yeah. What else? There's other things you love.
So there's 3. So my
what about the main one that I love you for?
Flying.
Yes.
Well, that's in my adventure bucket. Oh. So, but flying and being on the airport.
How long have you been a pilot?
15 years.
Yeah. So what I love about this guy, not only I feel like I'm living vicariously through you, you know, because you know you're doing things that, you know, I wish I was doing. So you know, I love it. But I will say that you know, not only are you a pilot, you went on and got certified in a lot of other things. I mean, you bought your own jet, and you just sold that to buy a play Cub. Tell us about that Cub.
So the Cub is my dream airplane. And it is like, I introduced it to some friends on the airport that hadn't seen it when I first got it. And they look at it and they're like, that is what dreams are made of, you know? And I'm like, that is it.
It's like a big wheel plane.
It's the ultimate backcountry, long travel suspension, 29-inch bush wheels. I mean, you can keep going crazier and crazier, and there's guys that do that. But I'm now with kiddos, I just wanted to keep my wings, but learn to fly backcountry. I want to do big Idaho, like week-long adventures. There's now these cabins and these grass runways where you go stay like at a golf lodge, but it's a runway instead of a golf course.
Can we make it all the way to Alaska in that thing?
Yeah, you'd have to stop a couple times in Canada.
Yeah, that's okay, but we could make it.
Yeah.
Because my buddy just bought a lodge. I'm going to bring him on my podcast. He didn't buy a lodge. He bought a river house right on the river.
Yep.
Then he bought the property across. Then he bought the property all around, turned into a lodge so people could come in. He didn't realize this year he opened it. Only bougie, wealthy people came. It paid for everything in 1 year. And he goes,
"Oh my gosh,
Dr. Matt, I literally found out what I'm going to be doing now. It was accidental. Like I had this dream."
And he loves it.
People fly in and they're just fishing off the docks, catching fish, and then he brings in private chefs and cooks all the fish. I'm thinking,
I want to go there.
I'm bringing my boy up.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's putting a runway on his own property.
Well, and a lot of guys up there flying floats because it's why not? There's lakes and rivers But yeah, that's the ultimate. So eventually, I'd love to get back up there. It's just a haul.
Yeah.
It's a
maybe
ways.
we'll just fly commercial. And
I think we take a jet up there,
okay.
and because you can access great airplanes up there.
Yeah.
And so for the first couple goes, I think that's what we do. But then if we learn and we love it, then we show.
Well, what I love too is you have a little beautiful family. But I love that you're raising your girl not to be a little bougie girl. I saw her out there getting dirty. We both own a river house out in Arizona, which really is an adventure home. That's the only reason why we have these things. You don't go out there to relax. You go out there for adventure.
My kid at 10 should be launching a boat. And so, how do you do that if you don't have a place like that? Yeah. That's how I learned.
Yeah.
I was out running around, and launching boats and doing that. I had a jet ski and a boat at like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And so it's just part of you.
I look back now, I was thinking about, my life. My dad, I'll never forget, because I'm thinking to myself, my daughter's 13 right now. And what was crazy is my dad gave me a boat at 16. I would tow it behind our van. I had a big old, Chevy van, and I'd tow this Outlaw 200 horsepower Merc every day and drop it in, and we'd skied every day, and my dad was never with me. He just taught me. I was raised on a boat since I was a kid. But I'm thinking to myself, there's no way I'm letting my kids have a boat at 6. I'm just in my mind right now. To know the responsibility my dad gave me, I think it has a lot to do with success. But the Bible says you train up a kid in the way they should go. My dad literally trained me, and so I'm panicking that I might not have my kids trained up good enough now.
I hear you.
Okay.
Because
you're living it though.
I'm going to try. But I will say, my dad did things to your point. I had things and grew up, and I look back and I'm like, my dad was freaking nuts.
Yeah, what was that thing you showed me? It was like on the plains, you're zipping around on the top of water. What is that thing called?
An airboat.
An airboat.
So,
you were on
I grew up hunting in Mexico. Literally from the time I was 8 years old, maybe even sooner, but I actually had shotguns in hand at 8. And I'm running around on boats, learning how to drive airboats, duck boats, which are there's actually a couple at the river. They're little 16-foot boats you can hunt 2 guys out of. Outboards, kind of, some of them have a jet foot. You can put a jet ski bottom end on it. They're cool. But I started driving those at 8, 9, 10. I was with my buddies, loaded shotguns, drinking Boone's Farm and Miller Lite at 16. Running around, and my dad's like, yeah, sounds good. And I'm running around driving my 3 knucklehead buddies, loaded shotguns. I flipped it once. I flipped it over, and nobody died, but I'm like, holy crap. My dad was a little bit on the nuts end of that.
Yeah.
So I wrestle with the booze aspect of bringing up, because I was raised that song, Born with a Beer in Your Hand. I was basically that down in Mexico.
Yeah.
And so
the reverse of you, my dad never drank a beer in his life.
So yeah,
but we're both here.
The joke with my dad and his buddy, and my dad's been gone for a few years, and we were best friends. So this goes more towards me being a father versus looking back and the joy I had with my dad.
Yeah.
It was unreal. So my dad's buddies used to give him a hard time that the only thing that he ended up killing was beer cans, because you'd find him in, with his buddy if it was slow and you didn't have ducks coming in, and you're out in these trees, in the middle of nowhere in the marsh, and you come around the corner and there'd just be like a case of beer cans everywhere. So like that's where,
if you can't kill a duck, kill a beer, I guess.
So fast forward, a fun story that I don't think I've shared with you is, have you ever seen the movie Wild Hogs? It's like a funny one. John Travolta. Yeah, and they do 4 guys ride across country, this and that. Anyways, at 17, that movie, when I was 17 coming out of high school, like the year before, that movie comes out. My dad and I did it. We bought Harleys. 2 other guys jumped on with us, and we trained. We just rode around and got with it for a year or so. I rode to New York City like July after I graduated high school.
From here?
From here.
San Diego to New York?
Took 2 weeks. We took our time because we wanted to see stuff.
How was
every
that?
Back road, every Route 66, everything you could
At
touch.
17?
At 18.
No way.
With a fake ID.
No.
I ran around. I spent a week in Nashville one night. That's like, who does that? Like nowadays?
I don't know. Obviously you do.
And
we're going to do it.
So,
I'm putting it, matter of fact, because I decided in 2026 I'm getting back to adventures, meaning I used to run high-level mastermind groups called Lion Chasers, and it really was an impact on a lot of these guys' lives and mine. But I'm doing it again, but this time adventure theme. So we're going to talk business and success, but I need guys to have adventure, because you know what I realized I love about you? That I could sit back, we could talk faith, we could talk family, we could talk finances, business, and those are all very good things, but I love the fact the adventure, and I watch too many guys lose their spirit of adventure for the chase the dollar.
Yeah.
And they become buzzkills, and like they're always on when it comes to business. And then I look at their kids and I look at their wives, and none of that's flourishing. Drives me crazy. And then, me and some buddies decided to launch a group called Man Cave Millionaire.
Okay.
And the whole thing is that's going to be, living the 6 F's of life: faith, fitness, finance, all that stuff.
Yep.
And I think that if we can't inspire men to find their wild at heart, if you will, it's a book.
It's a great book.
Yeah.
I've read
John
that.
Eldridge.
That makes you want to pound your chest and scream from the mountaintops,
Yeah, but guess what? I asked all these young adults, and not one of them have read it.
Yeah.
They're all in the grind, and they're not even thinking about dating because they all want to be so successful. They want to be an influencer. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, bro, influence comes.
You gotta go do something first.
Yeah.
The whole social media thing. So I've never been on social media.
Yeah.
And like just over the last year or so, I'm like, all right, I think I have enough to share. you know?
Yeah.
And I've been
doing it the right way.
Well, that's my point, is like, who are these guys that just pop up in their 20s and think they're gonna go share something? You haven't lived yet. Like, come on, you got to go live life and become a badass before you can actually share a story and impart wisdom.
Well, the younger generation disagrees with that. It's high entertainment, yet it's very shallow. They're living like these, I call them injection hits.
Yeah.
So it's like a little drug hit, but they're not really building any depth to them, but that's the generation we're in. It doesn't matter, but our job is to, the same philosophy. We're raised by business sages, and that we're passing on that legacy. What I realized, being around success, I didn't think my family was successful, but I look at what my family did. There was a drive in me, because I remember as a kid, I went to Hawaii. Did some fun stuff. I raced go-karts my whole life. And we didn't have a lot. We had a lot of money, lost a lot of money, had money, lost money. I watched my dad. He was an entrepreneur. He made more money than anyone I know, and he lost more money than anybody I know.
Yep.
And so I'm learning from I don't want to lose money like my dad did, even though I have massive respect. But he was always just doing land developments, as you know.
Okay.
Can be freaky. But
oh, yeah.
Real estate, land development could be up one day and down and
next.
Is
that what your dad did?
Oh, yeah. He was a land developer.
For what, though? Like residential or like everything?
Everything.
Okay.
He built, I go back to my hometown, and he built out, there's an Albertsons shopping mall. He built the whole thing.
Yep.
Bought the land, developed the whole thing. So I look at that going, I remember when I was a little kid, that was a nursery. Now my dad, I'll go home and see Chevy's there, a little restaurant, Albertsons, all the thing. And he built that whole chunk of land, which is cool.
Yeah.
He left a legacy.
You and I share that. So my dad was a general contractor turned developer, kind of in the later phase of his development building career, and built a lot of multifamily apartments in San Diego for guys that were syndicators. And that's how we figured out, like, that is the model.
Yeah.
Not the guys building it.
Yeah.
The model is who's owning it.
Yeah.
Forever. And the wealth that was created from those guys.
Yeah.
There's some of my billionaire friends. I mean,
it's amazing. And once you're in that circle, you realize it's not rocket science. It's just knowing how to put it together.
And then he jokes, he's an overnight 30-year success.
Yeah.
You have to put in the work day in and day out, and it's a grind, but at the same time, you're rewarded for it for every step of the way.
And that's how my dad started. He was a GC.
Yeah.
Built every home we ever lived in. I remember we lived in one home that my dad didn't build, and I could tell. Next thing you know, I came home, and there was a 3,000-foot add-on. I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? He goes, didn't feel right. I didn't build this house. So I can say I built half it. I was like, okay. But it's like, I realized some of the things that I want in life is because I saw someone model some stuff. So it makes me, it's amazing. People go, don't you get tired? I was like, when you're chasing your dream, I don't go.
Yeah, you sleep at night, but then you get up and keep going.
You freaking grind it. There's late nights. Entrepreneurs, there's late nights. Like these guys that I just had this young doc tell me is like, you expect me to work 50 hours? I said, oh, sorry. I thought you said you want to be successful. You wanted to have a house like me. You wanted to be, another thing. It's like, yeah, I must be just, on your wavelength. You roll up. I just saw that Porsche out there.
Yeah, I bought my dream car this year.
Oh, and you drive it to my house? That's just like rubbing it in.
I had to.
Unbelievable, man.
Well, I mean, if I'm not going to drive it to your house, where am I going to drive it?
I know, but I mean, it's just not good for me. I'm trying to save some for wealth right now.
Well,
now,
I can teach you that.
Yeah, I know.
Well, so it's the assets. Let's get into that.
Yeah, we need to right now.
Okay.
You guys even ready for this?
So,
I mean, this is the real deal right here, but let's talk about it.
Everyone should know you don't want to go work for money. You want to work for accumulating assets.
Yeah.
Because then the assets will pay you.
Yeah.
Like, the big example, the richest guy in the world today is Elon. He didn't go to work for a paycheck or to accumulate dollars.
Yeah.
He went to work to build companies that he had the lion's share of the equity.
Yeah.
And then he can always sell stock. And so we chase manufactured housing communities. It's similar to multifamily apartments operationally, just minorly different. And what I do is I put deals together and I earn equity in those deals. And meaningful chunks, we get 20% of every deal we do for putting the equity together. And my connections over the years, I've almost been chasing trailer parks for 20 years.
What?
And I'm 35.
Wow.
So I became a trailer park nerd, which is really an interesting fixation.
Yeah, I was going to say, only trailer park nerds I know, they're missing teeth.
There you go.
Yeah.
So once you get in the game, we bought a 28 unit. I don't think I've told you the beginning of the story. Have I?
No.
So 28 units, $600,000. It's a pretty reasonable deal.
Yeah.
But you're getting 28 units. And then, so first deal, I did it all. I figured out the loan. I built a financial statement for my dad that just had the home on it. Because you have to have a net worth typically equivalent to the loan amount.
Okay.
So I had to figure out what a financial statement was, build it. I didn't have any assets, but my dad had the house. So I put it on there, $600,000. We borrowed $400,000 from the bank. We raised $200,000. That was our first deal. And so I had to triangulate how to do it. My dad was smart, was a general contractor. So he knew how things worked, but not in the financial realm. So that was like, I sort of stood on Dad's shoulders. He had a great reputation, a no BS attitude and friendships in every way. So like that was the huge benefit was my dad never screwed anybody. He never lied, cheated, or stole.
Yeah.
He was a Catholic man. So he gave me a foundation in that.
Yeah.
And I would literally dial through his phone book with him on the phone and pitch because I'd say, Dad, it's so-and-so. And I just have to call because he didn't like selling.
Yeah.
He wasn't like a salesman naturally.
Yeah.
But he could do it well.
But you believed in the dream. So it's not like you didn't believe in it.
So I just kept pushing.
Yeah.
You know, and so we buy the first deal. We go to the second deal. Dad and I are still kind of doing this side gig at the moment because we still have to survive. So and I'll make this relatively short, but it's part of the. No, it's part of important. It's important in that it's what really lit the fire. So the first deal we get done, my sister's wrapping up college. I went straight out of high school with I just had a flame my mom really wanted me to go to college. So I out of reluctance, I went for 3 weeks and I'm sitting in an art class. I'll never forget because I bought my books on Amazon and that was the only thing you could buy on Amazon at the time. They're $400 for these books. I just wanted to throw in the trash. And I'm in an art class and the lady's telling me how to distinguish different pieces of art. And I'm like, there's going to be a time for this. But it's not right now. And I walked out. I got up in the middle of the class. I interrupted. She looked at me like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm out here. And I walked out, threw my books in the trash on the way out. I got my real estate license. So that was I got back from New York on Harleys. A month later, I'm in this BS college class. It was a local college. Yeah. Cheap to begin with. And so I leave. I get my real estate license. I start selling condos and homes. But it was 2008. Oh. So it was like the realtor death moment, death moment. The Death Star had just went over real estate. So anyways, I'm there and I'm like, I don't like this. I'd rather focus on the business side. I went to a Rich Dad, Poor Dad seminar. He had seminars back then. Yeah. That was when he was running with Trump actually. Yeah. And anyways, we went to that. We bumped into the concept of mobile home parks, which led to a year later us buying that $600,000 deal. We went for multifamily and apartments. We were like, how do we buy a 20 unit in San Diego? Well, anyways, we bumped into the concept of mobile home parks and we fell in love with it because we thought we could buy more scale for less money and go throughout the country and kind of play a different animal. Less people competing against you. It's more of a niche. It was, but we didn't really know how big of a niche at the time. So we chased the first deal down. We get it done. We figure it out. It was messy, but we got it done. Go to the second deal. Meanwhile, Dad's still kind of a developer, but he's not a builder anymore because construction quit, and I'm selling condos. We're just trying to figure it out, make some money. Go to the second deal. I just get a purchase agreement signed. My dad goes completely blind. And it was my 20th birthday. He was drinking beer with us in the backyard. The next day he wakes up and he's going blind in one eye. And we thought it was just going to be one eye. And then 2 months later, he goes completely blind in the other eye. Wow. So I had to call the seller. I'm in escrow on this $1.3 million mobile home park. And I had to call him and be like, I'm so sorry, but I need an extension. My dad's going blind, And these are the moments where I'll never forget because it was honestly when I became a man. It was the load had shifted and I was going to have to figure it out. My dad was mentally there, but no longer capable of much in that moment. Yeah. He was.
Oh, it'd freak you out.
Being tested to now. He was 59.
59.
And learning how to be blind, whether or not he was going to be blind for the rest of his life was his question. Yeah. And I'm trying to figure out how to buy this deal, which I love. And it was outside of Durango, Colorado. It was beautiful. And he still wanted to do it, and so that shows you who my dad was. Yeah. And so we made a few calls. I got an extension and I kind of figured out our issue with the structure as well. And kind of in the midst of all that, I called my sister and she was getting out of college. She basically got her first job for a property manager, sort of super coincidental. Call her and I'm like, hey, I know you just got that job. She didn't really like it though. And I'm like, you're going to take a massive pay cut. And if you come work with us, it's going to take a while, probably 5 to 10 years. It'll be a grind, but we're going to make it. And we're just going to keep buying deals. And then cause I need the books. I need she had a whole admin world to her and she had a skill set and legal. And she didn't know that yet, but that's where she ran in the end and had a gift. And so anyways, we blind dad as my advisor, my sister and I, we all became partners at that moment, second deal in. And we started buying 1 to 2 mobile home parks a year from there. This is actually a funny part of the story. So at that moment, Dad goes blind. He's got a development contract, which is not me, because I'm over here chasing trailer parks. He gets a development contract, signed up, 278 unit down in Otay Ranch. Massive condo quality apartment deal. He's going to be the developer. He goes blind like the week after he gets that contract signed.
Wow.
For one of the builders that
So
we
you had to
modeled.
figure it out.
So I built it with him blind, and I went to every meeting. I was basically running meetings at 20 on his behalf. He would be present talking too, but like there'd be like, hey guys, here's the plans, here's the contract. Like we'd be talking through things. Okay, I had to read it and understand it and present and go through that. And I'll never forget my 21st birthday. So then, fast forward a year, we bought another mobile home park, in the midst of sort of getting this 278 unit out of the ground. We bought another mobile home park. This one was in Cottonwood, Arizona. And we are negotiating the final construction contract for that 278 unit down in Otay Ranch. And I'm at the...
And you didn't go to college for this. So you had to learn all this real time. Because I have people now, like, we didn't have the internet like we do now.
No,
you don't
really
have the
clunky
research that we have now. Right. So pretty much now, it's easier.
I tell my team, if you can't figure it out now...
Yeah. You can't work for you.
Like, here's your sign. Put it on
How
your
big's
head.
your team now?
So I got 60.
60 people work for you. So I need everybody to hear this. This is a 20-year-old kid that probably had to mature faster because your dad went blind. You didn't go to college. You didn't have a background in this. You just had a passion and a way to figure it out, which is called resiliency. And then now you have 60 people that rely on you for a paycheck.
Yeah.
Now how big of deals do you do?
So we're doing, our standard deal is probably 20 million, and we did 90 million on new mobile home park purchases this year. We raised 40 million of fresh cash. I had 20 million coming out of old deals that we sold. And I think next year I'm going to do another 100 million. I'm already seeing it.
Isn't that amazing to think about?
It's honestly like staggering. Like I'm sitting with my head of HR last night, and she's in town. She works out of Texas. Yeah. And she comes in and out quarterly just to hang with everybody and catch up. And we this time of year, it's like all the team events. I actually have an apartment building that I own now after Dad passed. Never really was a consideration of mine. My dad died at 71 of a massive heart attack. So we didn't really have a lot of stuff planned. Yeah. Luckily, we had to trust, and like it wasn't that big of a deal in the end. But I inherited an apartment deal that he built, and he has partners in it, and we were managing it. Our management company is managing it, but Dad kind of had that as his pet project. Blind for 12 years, he had certain things that like we just left with him because he could do it and he could do it well with a phone call. So, anyways, I have an apartment deal right here at San Marcos, 204 unit senior deal. What? And so I have like 10 people that work for me there, and we just took them out to lunch. You called me the other day, and we're at the Brig in the little special room, and I'm like pinching myself. I'm like, how in the hell did I get here? Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sitting with my head of HR. So that's 10. And I have like actually probably another 50 to 55 now. We're hiring, kind of moving all the time. Yeah. And most of the people are in the field. I have 15 in my office down in El Cajon. In your hangar. In my hangar.
I love it. Who has an office in a hangar?
It's really kind of crazy, Like,
yeah, it is. But I people that meet you now, they just think like, oh, this kid, he's a trust fund baby that he's never known how to work.
My high school buddies like still can't figure out what I do.
Yeah. No, I ran into somebody because, dude, I knew him when, he's always been a hard worker. They know you, but the people that don't know your story, they just look at you now.
They think Dad had some money somewhere.
Yeah. And they just think like, oh yeah, he's just stepping into it. He's working the glory days. I said, bro, you don't even know. But I love the fact that you're still down to earth, because I have some friends that have been crushing it, and they've lost their way. Like they've lost their way living this lifestyle, but you're still into family. You're still into legacy. I love how close you and your sister are. Yep. That's amazing to see. You guys are killing it together.
It's fun.
And you're having fun with your sibling.
And it like it comes with challenges, to be fully honest. We get it. But that's the choice, Yeah. Like I have
everything's a challenge. The difference is you're married to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the blood.
And when you look at life with the right set of glasses, and you like, now I've lost my dad, and you realize how valuable time is, like all those things, having him lose his vision, but then having him pass away, it drove the whole value of time home for me. Yeah. And it's like, what am I going to do? Squabble over a partnership issue with my sister? Like I have a friend. It's funny how like I met you when I was kind of kicking off our faith journey.
Yeah.
I should say like doubling down in our direction, let's say, because we've always had faith. But it's like, all right, I got to make sure I'm going to take care of God and my faith and the church family and be present in that regard.
Yeah.
Because I started to build so much momentum that I could feel the success suction.
Yeah.
To where if you adopt too much of an identity of success and you don't leave enough behind in faith, and you got to put
wisdom.
You got to put your money where your mouth is too, which is difficult when you start making more money.
Yeah.
And then dad passes. I have a partner and my sister. We don't always see eye to eye. It's the nature of the game. Like I call her like jokingly with the team, like this is my work wife, you know, and in not a weird way. It's just like I have a really great woman partnership at work, and it's different. I go home to my wife, and it's like, it's a different thing that you have to work through challenges. And it's like, we went to all the Tony Robbins events, and we now have that integrated in the whole team.
But you grow together.
You have to keep pushing.
Grow together.
And grow together.
If you had to give some tidbits on people that are on their journey, what were one or two things that you could help people on their journey find their way?
I think that the biggest thing I talk to everybody about when they kind of tap me for just like, what's going on? How should I do this? Is focus on your niche. Like focus.
Yeah.
And that was one of the pieces that dad would tap me when I was young, is like I would want to drift and go back into multi or go into different real estate asset classes. Yeah. And he goes, I've seen it. Just keep going.
Yep.
You know? Yep. And so anytime I got squirrely in my mid 20s, I couldn't find good deals or whatever, you gotta stay focused. Yep. Pick your lane and run.
Yep.
And now my depth of knowledge in this space at my age is sort of ridiculous.
Yeah, you're smoking people.
And so my relationship building, I'm going against all these analysts. It's me against analysts that work for Invesco, Bridge, Apollo, all these big institutional shops. And that's who I'm bidding against. And I'm buddies with the guys selling the deals. So all I have to do is figure out how to make my pricing work and the relationship and the seller, and that's my gift.
That's your gift, yeah.
So all I'm going against is an analyst.
That's so good.
So, but I didn't know that, you know, and then I had to learn how to win deals, because a lot of people, when you're raising private money and they don't know your bucket of money. So the brokers, I tell everybody it's like you could win any real estate deal if you know this.
Oh.
Which is, if you know the motivations behind the seller, even just a couple things, you understand the broker. If you want to buy a house, go straight to the listing agent, call them direct, and go, hey, I understand how the game works. You're going to make an extra pop if I buy this house from you. Put me in this house. I'll sign the dual representation, but like I'm a real buyer and I'm serious about this house. You go straight to the top.
Yeah.
And it's the same in commercial real estate.
Yep.
As long as you can back it with your ability to raise money and put the deal together.
Yep.
So you can't just show up at $100 million deals. You're going to have to do $2, $3, $4, or $5 million deals.
Yep.
Work your way up, build your abilities and your tolerance. And so now I can't take on probably $100 million deal cold, because I raise money in escrow.
Yeah.
I raise money in 30 days. So if I can't raise $50 million in 30 days, I can't do that deal.
$50 million in 30
now
days.
I can raise about $20 million in 30 days.
That's amazing, though. But you think about it. So
when I started, it was way smaller.
I get that. But now you can see. And every once in a while, you'll get excited to go after a big one above your.
Well, now that's what's happening, is we're just like, how big can we go?
Yeah.
You know? And like I'm looking at a $40 million deal. They want 45. It's in Reno. It's a beautiful mobile home park, newer. Kind of looks like Hidden Shores, you know, but not quite that nice. Yeah. And it's like 20 mil, 30 days. Like, do we have it? We just finished raising money too.
So you did it.
Well, so I'm like, I have to decide if we're going to be serious about it or not.
Yeah.
In like the next week, you know?
Wow.
And so that's kind of constant now. And so then once you build the cadence though, and the deal has to make sense. So like my end all litmus test for a deal is, does it fire me and the team up?
Yeah.
If we don't fully believe in it, we can't go sell it. And I'm not going to, because I don't want to put people in deals that aren't going to
It's one thing. You're so authentic, you could see through it. You know, you have your BS meter, and I know you could read that up, but that's what I love about you. You're just going to say how it is, and you know, you understand, because I believe you know where you came from. There's other people that probably this is their dream to get involved with you, but this is all they got. And you understand that. These are changing people's lives that invest.
Yeah, I can't take people's money.
Yeah.
Like, I have Navy SEAL buddies that invest with me. Like, they'll just come clip me if I
exactly.
squander all their money.
Yeah,
I'm kidding. But I'm not going to put people's money into assets that I don't fully 100% believe in.
Yeah. And so that's why I think that thing about focusing, you know, back in that, when you said you got your real estate license in 2008, well, guess what? Everybody in 2005, 2006, I had chiropractors that were going to get their real estate license. And I'm like, dude, you're a chiropractor. Yeah, but look at the market. I said, bro, I mean, one time I met this real estate. I'm like, what did you do before real estate? Oh, I was a Trader Joe's bagger. Oh, and you're in real estate. Oh, you must be an expert. You know what I mean? But everybody was the expert, either loans or whatever. And then the crash happened, and guess what? Everybody went back to their jobs. And the people that didn't go back to their jobs is because they still believed that they're a real estate agent now. They made the switch. But not everyone mentally made the switch from where they came from.
It's a great example.
To then be that. And then when stuff got hard, they went back to what they could count on. See, entrepreneurs, you can't go back to a W-2 once you tasted freedom. Burn the ships.
You got to burn the boats.
You do.
And never look back.
Cortez, man. I tell that story all the time, because if you don't burn the boats, that's your plan B. There is no plan B if you want to be successful.
No. You have to jump.
You know, when I bought this house, there was no plan B. It was like, my wife's like, I'd be like, well, babe, we'll find a way. You know, let's do it. Let's live a life for these kids. And I wanted to be, I shouldn't have watched Yellowstone. I think that's the only reason I bought 12 acres. I watched too much Yellowstone. Yeah. I'm thinking I'm John Dutton. I mean, I bought cowboy boots and a hat when I bought this place. I'm like, what? Well,
it's fun. I mean, it's a big enough property where you can run around and be fully kids. Yeah, and then you can have fun and build stuff or whatever, move a tractor around.
I still think if I walk around my property with my gun, they'll freak out. You know, I think neighbors are like, why is that guy walking around with a shotgun on his property?
No, you just got to go smoke a couple coyotes, and then everyone will take you seriously.
Yeah, I think one of my sheriffs here came by and saw me. He's like, you can't kill coyotes. I'm like, what do you mean I can't? This is my 12 acres. I can do whatever I want. I haven't tried it yet, so I don't want to get in trouble.
Can you? I don't know that.
No, you're not supposed to kill coyotes.
Oh, for crying out loud.
But it's okay. They say it's inhumane, the traps I had set up.
Yeah, you should just shoot them.
That's well, you got to trap them first. But I mean, I'm not saying I do or do not do that, but you know, I've thought about many things, because once you lose a dog to a coyote, guess what? I'm now a professional coyote hunter.
Off camera, I have lots of ideas.
Oh, good. We'll talk about it off camera. You know, so I would say, cool. You know, it's really about staying focused. Don't lose the grind. You know, all those guys came back to chiropractic. It's funny, you know, MLMs, you know, I had people that would get in chiropractic and we're trying to get sold everything. They'd go into MLMs. I'm like, don't sell your practice, bro. If you want to do that, fine. But don't sell your practice. All those people that sold their practice, they all went broke because that MLM folded or went upside down. Yeah. It's like,
MLMs are actually a really good training tool, but you don't want to hook your cart to them indefinitely.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, like I did Monavie. This is actually
Monavie.
I did Monavie at whatever it was. At like 18.
Yeah.
But I will say, and Shanae still gives me a hard time because we've been together since then. Like, we were high school sweethearts. And she's like, oh, yeah, what about Monavie, babe? You know, and she'll give me daggers every once in a while. And I'm like, well, I dialed every single name in my phone book. Yeah. I mean, it taught me something.
Yeah, it did.
And so then I literally took that skill and I raised equity from then on.
I tell all young entrepreneurs, if you want to, there's two things you should do. Be a server for 1 year. Go in customer service. You're at restaurants, because the way you get treated, it's always rough.
Yep.
And the way that you overcome is based on tips. Like, if you want to learn rejection and fear and talking to people, you got to be a server for 1 year. You cannot quit no matter how crazy it gets. Just commit. I don't care. Commit to a time frame.
Yeah.
6 months, year, whatever. And then the second thing you got to do is, if you really want to find out, be a door knocker for solar.
Oh.
Guess what? You right there. You're going to get over rejection really quick. Those two things. I mean, being a chiropractor, you know, you're a stepchild anyways in the medical field. And, you know, I was like always a rebel, so it was no big deal. But it built resilience, People are like, yeah, I don't believe in chiropractic. I said, dude, it's not religion. Or they're like, yeah, I don't need one. I said, well, you will one day, you know? And I would just build resilience, where then finally I just realized no one's telling me no. I'm going to take care of all my friends. I'm going to take care of all the people I love. And the rest of them, I don't give a rip.
Yeah.
Some will, some won't. Who cares who's next? That's my philosophy.
Yep.
And I teach all these young people that. And I was like, in anything you do, have that philosophy and you'll be successful. You don't quit because you got rejected.
Amen.
You know, it's like, how many deals have you not done?
So I've always committed. I've always burned the boats.
Yeah.
You know, because at some point I go hard on my earnest money, and I've always been unwilling to walk. So then it's just who's next on my phone.
Yeah.
Or who else can I get to come by the hangar and hang out and show them the world of what we're doing.
What's possible.
And so that's where, like, I brought in a guy now, Ben, who's a better salesman, but he worked in BlackRock. And so he brings that, like, knowledge of the real markets to what we do, and now why he's doubling down in this space. And it's fun to watch him, because I used to do it in hindsight, a floppier, more real manner, but he does it so clean through why everyone on the institutional side should start shifting gears and moving more money into tax, incentivized real estate holdings, and does the whole thing. And it is so fun to bring people to the hangar. And we were like, at some point, we're like, we're not missing anybody. If somebody comes to the shop, we have like 100% close rate.
Yeah, of course.
It's unreal though.
Yeah. So
like,
let me
doesn't
ask you
exist.
this. What's it take to get involved?
So for us,
some people
$100,000 minimum.
100,000.
Yep. And
so if someone had 100,000 sitting in the bank and they're not sure what to do with it,
yep.
Why would they put 100,000 with you instead of doing a Roth IRA?
So, so you can actually invest through your Roth IRA.
Yeah, I know.
But $100,000, that's, I'll give you a better example. Like if it's your last 100,000, then like it's you need to go, you know, if you're younger and you have 100,000, and even if you're older and you only have 100,000, you got to go spend the money on yourself.
Use that money to
add more value within your own career.
No, I'm talking people.
But if you have some money and you want to play in manufactured housing, mobile home parks are the best cash flow producing multifamily style residential asset. We do, like, I just bought all of the deals we bought this year are probably pretty conservatively going to double in value in 5 years. So we do about 20% appreciation a year. I'd say now it's 15% growth, 5% cash flow, just quick numbers. And then the cash flow starts to edge up.
Yep.
But then the depreciation is insane. So with Trump's new tax bill, I mean, it was like we were.
You're the first person I thought of when that new tax bill went through.
I just happened to be on a family trip for my mom's 70th in Hawaii, and I like cracked a beer. I'm like, holy crap. This is going to change my life for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
It's like green lights. And long story short, you put $100,000 in one of our mobile home parks, you get $120,000 in loss the first year.
That's unbelievable.
And so it's better than buying planes or cars or whatever, because you're buying a real great asset that appreciates versus depreciating something that's going to cost you money.
And that's why a lot of my toys, people always wonder why you do it. I needed write-offs and depreciation, and I find a way to make all those toys work in that area.
And look, we're shooting in your house right now. We're writing your home off too.
You better believe it.
Yeah, and so it's like, you got to play the game.
People all the time go, why don't you do a studio and rent a place? I said, I have a house. Like, you got to play the game.
And you got a beautiful tree, so we can like have a setting.
I like that. Thanks for noticing my tree. I was wondering, do I block that tree out?
No, then it's the equivalent. So we have a ton of guys. Our demographics really like the 50 to 75-year-old. That is a range of different businesses that they've accumulated / sold. Guys that have owned and or accumulated a bunch of rentals here, where it's getting sticky to operate rentals. Yeah. Not to mention you got to deal with it. Yeah. So a lot of our guys are selling rental homes. One-offs, 2 at a time, and then they'll just start trickling the money into our deals. Yeah. Our cash on cash beats rental homes. Yeah. If you do the math on equity, most of the time, if you've owned a home for 5 to 10 years, and you have the equity that's in that home, if you do the math on what you're actually netting, it's like 2 to 3%. And so you're immediately getting 5, the depreciation, and a full team to take care of the asset. And I budget and run the assets for 5 to 10 years at a time. And then we do refinance or sell, and we're going to keep them. The best ones we're going to keep long term.
Yeah.
The rest of what we do is we're a consolidator. So we work with all the mom and pops, and we buy all the mobile home parks in given markets that we can then put 5 or 10 together.
Yep.
And then we'll sell and get a huge pop on the valuations. We'll do 1031 exchanges into larger assets, higher quality at that point. And our team does all of that.
Yeah.
So you don't have to, we're a set it and forget it. But we generate better cash flow than homes. The tax game's really professional.
Yeah, and I would tell you that one of my goals is to get demographic of, 30 to 50-year-olds that are hungry and turn them into multimillionaires. That's my goal with the Maverick Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And then teach them where to go. Because you're right, a lot of times they can accumulate that wealth not until they're 50. But if we can squeeze it down, I got these hustlers that are out wasting money on cars and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, there's other ways, bro.
This goes back to focus. Build it and focus in your lane. Well, you know why the 40-year-olds don't invest with us? They think they can go do it better.
Bro.
And they can in their world. Like whatever they're good at, they should double down on, build it, sell it. But then you're just not going to be able to do it all.
Yep.
But they still got enough piss and vinegar in them where they think they can go do it.
Yeah.
And then eventually they'll come back around.
Yeah.
Once they're 50 plus, and they'll realize that, you know what, time is more important now.
Time is more important.
And I don't want to be trying to do it all. And
if I could start over, I would have taken it way more. I pissed away so much money in my 30s. I mean, I had a lot of energy, so I was making a lot of money, but I was just not smart with my money. I watched my dad, I think, lose everything when he was older. So, he lost everything when he was 40. He took a big hit, rebuilt it, and then he was 50, took a hit again, and that one wiped him. And so I was just like, I'm never going to build up wealth and give it to anybody else. I'm going to build up wealth and spend it all. So, I was just living this lifestyle in my 30s with my wife just going. And then when I had Micah, I think she's 13 now. So like I get 39, I had Micah, and it woke me up. Everything shifted in a moment, and I go, okay. And then after I had my 2 boys, I was like, all right, I'm not living that big anymore. I got nothing to prove. I just need to now accumulate wealth. So I changed that focus. So it's like, don't wait till you have some life thing. Just learn the principles early. So if I could take these young adults that are in their 20s, get them passionate about something, by the time they're 30, I say, if you can accumulate wealth, 30 to 40, you won't have to work again after 40. You could have passive income. Like, could you imagine if some guy invested $100,000 a year with you over 10 years?
Oh, yeah.
What would that be like after 10 years?
Guys.
Okay, but I'm just telling you, if I took a guy at 30 and he's just crushing it in his thing and he saved an extra 100,000, he could, like, in your 30s and you're young, you don't need to live on more than 200,000. So say you're making 3, 4, 5, 600,000.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do with it all?
Yeah.
I'm telling them, live on 50%, then the other 50%.
It'd be probably pushing a couple mil. Like if he invested $1 million over 10 years, it'd be basically double, maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, but what happens is the first 5 years, this is how it works. Say they're young, they invest $100,000 for 5 years.
Yep.
Then all of a sudden they're still making money and they realize, I want to double down. I'm seeing the fruit of this. Then they start doing 200, 250 the next 5 years. So let's just say they did 500,000 the first 5 years, and then they did $1 million the next 5 years. That's 1.5. What do you think that return on that's going to be over the next?
When you're clipping like a 50 to 20% year over year?
That's what I'm saying.
It gets staggering.
I know this. If I can give you $6 million, I won't have to work again. I just crunched the numbers with my CPA last week.
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, all right, if I can make 15% return on my money, even if I'm, doing dumb moves, 10%. $6 million at 10% makes me how much a year?
That's $600K.
$600K.
Yeah.
I can live
50
on
G's a month.
I can live on $600K.
Yep.
So my new goal is to hurry up and get you $6 million.
Well, and that's the math everyone needs to do.
But they're not doing it. They don't even.
No, but that's how you back into it.
Yeah.
And then it gets actually pretty simple.
Yeah.
Is like, okay, you know what? I only need $10,000 or $20,000 passive a month. Also, that 50 G's that comes from me is almost tax free.
Yeah. Listen, I have a new goal starting 2026. Just get ready, make some room for me.
Let's go.
I'm freaking going to start popping, selling stuff that doesn't matter and cash flow, because I got to get $6 million invested with you by the, over the next 8 years is my goal.
We should have a call with your CPA, because I think I could help in that. You can do better than you probably think, and that will save you tax money, which allows you to net closer to what you're trying to put in every year.
Yeah, because I almost bought this property. I was going to flip it in Park City and doing all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I was just looking at the deal, and then all of a sudden, I knew it was the Holy Spirit. It woke me up and it's like, hey, I built you relationships. Don't go build this house on your own. Take on this massive thing just so you could live in Park City. You're going to go over here. You'll be staying at the Montage and not even caring.
On cash flow.
On cash flow. I said, all right, Lord, I'm listening.
And the Montage is so sick.
It's so good.
I love it.
If you stay at the Montage one time in Cabo, you can never stay anywhere else.
Oh, is that the one through the tunnel? I haven't been back there in a while, but I heard there's a couple of nice hotels.
It doesn't matter. Like the way the Montage treats you in Cabo, you can't go anywhere else. My wife is like, I can't go to Cabo anymore unless we stay there. I'm like, what?
I know. Well, and then
I got to sell my excursion. You know what I got to do?
You for that?
Oh, bro, they do it. They do it. But
yeah. No, so that's the key. You want to transition. That's why our show is called The Cash Flow Quest, which we really have just now leaned into media and wanting to, but then, chatting with your guy, it's like, it's all about authenticity now and events and in person. Like, we're throwing a Christmas party at the hangar. You're welcome to come by. 200 people are coming.
What?
It's like everyone that we send it to comes.
Yeah, I'm coming.
And it's like, it's kind of overwhelming because, you send out a bunch of, invites and you think like maybe 60,
I made that mistake
70%.
one time and they all showed up and I almost crushed my wife. And she goes, don't ever do that to me again. I said, because I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah.
I told her, I think like 50 people will show up. Oh no, 150. It's like.
So yeah, we're like the caterer. We now know how to do it right to where we're not busy. And, where we can enjoy the
night. What's the date? No, you don't have to say it now.
It's
we might have a whole bunch of people show up.
It's next Thursday.
Okay. That's the smart way to
Come
do it.
on by.
Yeah. Swing on by. They'll be here for the next 10 Thursdays, for you. You just keep throwing parties.
You're right. By the time you get this, it's probably over.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's funny, man. Well, that's awesome. So how do they find you? I want anybody watching that this is like tickling some questions. How can they reach out?
Comfortcapital.com is the best way to quickly get in touch with the team. I do have channels now, BlakeWComfort.com, my own Blake Comfort at all the platforms. We're just getting that rolling. So I'd say the most direct path is just comfortcapital.com, insert, your name and email, and we'll get back in touch with you.
And that's his last name, Comfort, not that he's trying to be comfortable.
That's right.
That's right.
Living the uncomfortable.
That's right. Grinding it out.
Yeah.
Like, are you reading any books right now that you need to drop a thing on us? Podcasts, books, anything that juices you that you think you need to?
For some reason, the last couple of years, I've been on this like macroeconomics binge. I can't tell you exactly why. It just really, like with Trump and the different dynamics of tax, and I'm a gold bug. Like, so how I like to keep company reserves is in gold. So because then my team can't be like, oh, hey, we'll just transfer it. And, it's like cash is almost too accessible.
Yeah.
And so what me and Dad did years and years ago was we're like, well, we'll just start pushing gold and having it in a local vault where they can give us a statement. So I've been like following macro and what the central banks are doing. So I have a few channels. Von Greyer's is like, if you ever want to go down the rabbit hole and really understand macro, these guys are in the Swiss mountains. They have vaults that are built in, like they've shot 007 films out of these vaults. They're in the mountains.
No.
That you can fly into with a private runway on a cliff. Like it's something out of a movie.
Gold.
And they store like the world's wealthiest gold. And so it's my goal. You have to have $5 million in gold in order to store it there. So it's my goal to have that much gold in there, and I can go store it in a Swiss
You just
Alps.
Helped me wrap my head around a new thing.
So like that is where I've been having fun. And then gold doubled this year. Mm-hmm. So I made a bunch of money on it. Mm-hmm. So my reserves did what they were supposed to do. I hedged and they doubled. So,
I need to call you more often. See, this is my problem. When you have smart people around you, why am I not calling? I think I'm going to do this new rule. For every 10 hours that I give investment into, because I kind of coach all these young guys. But for every 10 hours, I'm going to go get 1 hour of coaching from you.
Well, and or come by and bring them by.
Yeah.
Like, and we'll have a little like mastermind or, whatever.
Yeah, no, it's true. When I do my big event, I'm going to, I have a buddy in Rancho Santa Fe that we're going to go bowling in his house.
Yeah.
And so we're going to
I'll come. I always learn too. Like, don't get me wrong.
He loves it. He's getting older and he goes, why? I have a bowling alley in underground. Craziest house. And he goes, I put it there so I can mentor young people, but I don't know young people anymore. So he goes, why don't you hold your mastermind and then bring them over for cigars and whiskey and wine and let me just talk to them, inspire them. I'm like, I can do that? And he goes, that's why I built it. My kids are cool. I was like, oh my gosh. All right, done. So we're going to do more adventure stuff like that. That's adventurous. Like come, and what you do, you break the mold of what people see. You know what I mean? Because, they can't always relate to Mr. Beast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, that's Mr. Beast. But
it's
there's so much wealth in San Diego. There's so much wealth everywhere. You just, once you see it, people always have scarcity mindset, like, oh, there's no money. Bro, I don't know. Don't tell me that guy. This guy the other day said, how much do I need to write a check for? I'm like, oh, yeah, what are you thinking? He goes, you need 20 million? I was thinking 200,000. What's my problem? He's just his thinking is, I'm like, you could really pen a check for 20 mil? And he goes, yeah. I'm thinking myself.
What were you selling? I
wasn't selling anything. I was just talking about this deal I was so frustrated with splitting my land and the headaches. And
he was willing to help you out and give you a loan.
He was thinking, because I hadn't told him how much land or anything, in his mind, he was thinking I was trying to buy Montana.
I got you. Yeah.
I was just trying to subdivide my thing, and I was just kind of complaining. He was just like, how much is the property? 20 million? I'm thinking to myself, oh, bro, we are on different planes right now. But it was so cool for me to hear his default.
Yeah.
Was that I was like, I need to think bigger.
The thinking big thing is challenging. And you can't go from 0 to 100 either.
No.
And that's where like a big lesson I learned just through so we use the Tony Robbins team training, so we have a coach interface with our team and, kind of like a counselor as well, just somebody to call that can coach you up and more performance-based stuff.
Yeah.
And what I love about what they talk about is like you overestimate what you can do in a year, but you underestimate what you can do in 10. And that's the key is like knowing that you're embarking on a journey. Don't view it as like black and white. You got to win in next week or in a year. Yeah. You got to start becoming that person that's going to require you to be.
I got an 8-year plan.
It's why I bought the Porsche.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to shift my identity and go a little bit further and just keep.
Were you getting too country? Trucks and Jeeps and UTVs.
That's where I've always been.
Yeah.
So then I joined Fastlane. I joined this car club and like I'm running around and I raised money quickly at it. I'm like, made some new friends that are doing different things. Best people, funnest people I met in the whole thing where they bought the Boise chapter and the Idaho guys. Immediately I like fell in love and became friends with the Idaho guys.
Why do you go to Idaho? Yeah.
Yeah. And, but you got to keep
my buddies just joined Fastlane in Idaho, in Boise.
They're awesome people.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like you got to keep pushing yourself to get outside your comfort zone. Yeah. So trucks and duck boats, that's a little too close to home. I got to push it out a little bit.
Yeah, Porsche and bougie. Well, that's awesome. Well, hey man, I appreciate you coming on here. Hopefully you all got some little things that tickled your mind. Anytime, all growth happens outside the comfort zone. We've said it since day one here. Never stay comfortable. If you feel like this year you got comfortable in 2025, well, guess what? 2026, you finish strong. So finish strong and set yourself up to be a rocket ship in 2026. Make better choices. Make better financial choices. If you've got to get a little frugal for 1 year to set yourself up for the slingshot the rest of your life, do it in 2026. So God bless you. Blake, thanks for being here. We'll get all your details out there for people to track you down. And you're an inspiration, man. It's cool to see. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Ciao. We'll see you on the next episode of the Maverick Entrepreneur.